Well, hello everyone, it's Tracey here from MiniScenes, and we are on to day 2 of our making stuff for Valentine's Day. Now I'm having a little bit of fun here because it's quite cold in my craft room. It is at 19 degrees, but of course I've got my window open because of the fumes, and it is the middle of January. So I have got the heat mat going on underneath this too. I've mixed up some little pots of just resin, and we're going to be adding pigments to those. And the effects I'm going for today, I'm going to try the marshmallow effect and a feather effect. So I found some recipes for how to mix up your pigments, courtesy of Pouring Your Heart Out. So we'll see how we get on. Now this is just my normal 1:1 resin, and I'm going to add some pigment to each first of all. Let's try 5 drops in each. I'm going to work my way around trying to do the same in each. We're going to need a black at some point as well. We're going to need quite a lot of the black. 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've done a slightly bigger pot of the black. Got some nice sort of purpley red colours and fuchsia-y pinks and all sorts going on here. Don't think this one's been opened yet. There we go. 5. So this, from what I've seen on other people's videos, thank you all those who put videos out there. Most of us couldn't do any of this without those of you who pioneered all this and putting your videos out there. Let's have some blues. But yeah, there seems to be a recipe to this. Now these are alcohol inks, whereas the others were pigments, and this one seems to have stopped up. Yeah, the others are pigments, so we'll try with either. There you go. Now one thing that is clear, this recipe that you need to kind of follow is crucial, as I said, and it does seem to all come down to the thickness of the actual resin that you end up working with, and the temperature and a multitude of other variations. So I'm mixing all these up in the hope that I can get them to do something. Right. Apparently what we do need is a drop of white in each to make sure that they are properly opaque. I'm actually putting 3 because I want to lighten them down quite a lot. Oh dear, I put some in the black. I didn't mean to do that. We've got a grey. Oh dear. It'd be dangerous if I had a brain, wouldn't I? Grey might be quite nice actually. As usual, I got a bit left in my pot anyway. So let's mix up a nice dollop of black in there. Where's my black gone? And again, this is alcohol ink. Probably should be using pigment rather than alcohol ink at this stage, but you know, I like messing. Let's have a bit of both in the black. Now, apparently, if you put more ink, it floats. More alcohol, rather, it floats. If you put less alcohol, it sinks, and the trick is getting it somewhere in the middle. So far I have got just the colours mixed up, and I have got some alcohol to drip in. Let me just grab that. Oh, here it is. Already got it out. Right. I was more organised than usual. Now I've decanted some of it into here, into this little needle tip bottle, so I can control it better, but it is just isopropanol alcohol. So let's start with this one. Now to me that is not terribly opaque. It should start with a clean stirrer, shouldn't I? That would help. Yeah, let's find a clean stirrer. There we go. That's not terribly opaque. These are the cheaper pigments, these ones that I can't pronounce. Well, they're not that much cheaper, to be fair. But they're not the fancy letter resin ones. So the chances are I'm going to need a bit more of all of these. So I'm keeping them handy so I know which is which. That's those two. Now, normally I'd be fast forwarding this bit because I think it's quite tedious to watch, but with this technique, these techniques in particular, the mixing seems to be so crucial. I thought you might want to see what I do in terms of the mixing. And it's still coming out quite transparent, even though some of these are meant to be opaque to start with. So let's put a little bit of my drop more. Should we be using white pigment is the question. Probably. Let's grab the white pigment. And this time it is a letter resin one. Is that better? Yeah. Yeah, so this other brand that I'm sometimes using is, it's nice stuff to use, to be fair. It's just that I think the letter resin ones have got a lot more actual pigment in them. Oh, that's a nice colour. Feel free to fast forward through this bit if you don't really enjoy watching mixing. Especially some of these are a bit off camera. I'll try and come back in. There we are. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Right, here's my accidental grey. It's quite nice actually. Well, we'll put a drop of pigment in that to bring it down a bit more, because if it's going to be grey it might as well be grey. Might do a monochrome one amongst this lot. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So yeah, in the recipes I've seen, they seem to be using pigment as well as the alcoholic anyway. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, isn't that lovely? So, over that. Oh, this must be what making cakes is like, she says. I never cook. I'm useless in the kitchen, I am. As my other half will confirm. There we go, so we've just added a little bit more of the white alcohol ink. So there's already alcohol gone in here. It is fairly thin. Trying to see what these blues and purples do. Whoa, that's gone funky. Right, then apparently we put a few drops of alcohol ink in. Now, I won't so much in the black, because we do want that to float. Which way round was it? Yes, more makes it float, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3. Oops, did a bit of a squirt there. Oh dear. Right, one thing I learnt from the lady at Pouring Your Heart Out. Sorry, I must make a note of your real name. But one thing I've learnt from her is do a test one. So, let's get another wipe handy. And we're going to give these a stir. And then we're going to do a test one. So that's thinned it slightly, but my observation is that it's not thinned it hugely. So this is why we do a test one. Right, now we have cocktail sticks for putting the colours in. These seem to have degassed quite nicely, so I am going to just give them a quick pop with my torch to make sure, trying not to scorch the mould. Right, there we go. Okay, now, so this is going to be the test one. And what we do is we pop in a dot, bigger dot than that, onto the surface, and we watch what it does. You want it to spread a bit, and you don't want it to sink straight to the bottom, and equally you don't want it to spread all over the surface like a crazy thing. Well, this is the first time I've tried this, so like I said, I am no expert on this by any means. I have been just following these recipes. I don't know how accurately, but to me that looks quite good so far. Obviously we need to leave it a sec to see where it goes. This one's going to end up with all the colours in it, so it's going to be a bit of a mad one if I stir it and it does anything good. The other thing I believe is the case is don't drop it from too great a height, because obviously that'll just make it sink anyway if it goes plop. Okay, and finally the red. So I believe what we're aiming for is to start to see a bit of spreading, a little bit of sinking, except for the black. And you know what? I might be peeking too soon, but I think that looks good. Now you'll notice, while we're waiting to see what that does, you'll notice that the moulds aren't full completely up, because obviously we're going to be putting all this stuff in them. So yeah, you've got to leave a bit of room. Now I'm going to mix up a white, because for the one technique we are going to need some actual just white. So just in the corner of your screen here I'm mixing up some white. So just to recap, the marshmallow technique is one we're going to try, and the feather effect with a black background is the other one we're going to try. So I'm trying to get quite a crisp white here in this pot. And I'm putting quite a lot of the sea deeper in it because this one is going to want to sink. Okay, like I said, no great expert, but to me so far that looks quite good. So I'm just going to clean my gloves up a bit. Ugh. Right. Now, I'm just going to move my black and my white to the back there so I don't get muddled up. And I'm going to try here as well with my little dotting tool rather than the cocktail stick, because I think I'll get just a better sized blob off that. That is sinking a lot. So let's go for a bit of pure alcohol in the white as well. Just put a few drops in there. So it's seeing that little purpley blob. It has sunk, but not terribly. So what I'm seeing here is it looks to me as if these are acting how they should. We want our black to not sink and our colours to sink a little bit but not immediately and spread a bit. And that white, I think it has sunk a little bit too much, but not completely. So let's try, oops, now that's sinking completely. So I've obviously put too much alcohol ink in now. Right, I'm just going to, you know what, I'm just going to go for it because I could be here messing all day, couldn't I? Just going to put a drop more resin, just the little dregs that are left in my pot, into my white, thicken it back up a bit. If anyone doesn't want to see all this rambling and messing about mixing and wants to skip straight to the finished results, do be my guest. Not a problem at all. There we go. So I've just mixed that little bit in. Right then, I'm just going to go for it because I think these, well, to me they look pretty good. You can still see the white on the top, so. So the first technique we'll try is the marshmallow one, and I have, I think, what should we do? Let's do it in this pink, because this pinky purpley, because I think this will be a lovely colour for this. Now the marshmallow effect is basically made up of drops that you layer up, and then you don't swirl, but you do need quite a lot of small drops. So that's what I'm going for here. I'm going to do one, and then I'll fast forward onto the whole top row so that you get the idea but can move on. So you can see why we're adding a bit of colour here, so you can, oops, quite a bit of resin here, so you can see why I didn't fill the mould up completely. Sorry if you can hear a lot of background noise, by the way. They've finally got around to doing footpaths around here, and yeah, about blinking time. Covered in moss, all uphill and down dale, holes, and oh, they're a mess. So I'm quite happy to put up with a bit of noise while they do that. Okay, so that's a nice lot of dots. I'm also going to try this in one of these deeper ones over here. They're smaller but deeper. And with these I'm going to try some different colours. That one I'm going to keep quite monochrome. But while I've got, not monochrome, but you know, single colour range. Now while I've got this pot on the go though, well, I thought I might as well do that. Okay, now I'm going to fast forward you through the next few because no, actually I'm not yet, am I? Sorry. Cut. Now I'm going to pop in here. Here comes the white. Now this is how we do this marshmallow effect. You now try to drip a blob of the white straight into the centre of each of the dots you made before. Apparently. Well, this still kind of looks like the videos, the videos that I've seen so far. So let's hope I'm barking up the right tree, as we say here. Sing amongst yourselves, you know. Oh dear. So that one there's gone off centre a bit, but I didn't drop it carefully enough. But I'm getting the hang of this. I'm getting the hang of it. As you can see, we're getting more accurate as I go. Bit time consuming, but worth it, I think. So same over here in this little one. Now the resin that's in these pots should be thinning slightly at the moment, in the mould rather, should be thinning slightly at the moment, and in the pots that are on the heat mat, because the heat will thin it initially and then of course start to cure it. Right, now what we're doing is we're going back round with the colour, same colour, onto each of these dots. Oh, and I've gone off centre with that one as well, and that one too. Should be taking my time a little bit more, I think. So this is the principle, and I'm going to fast forward you in a second, trying to get this to drop, but you end up with like colour white colour, and then you just leave the marshmallow ones. With the feather ones I shall be putting more colours in. I need to get closer to this, don't I? Yeah, I should be putting like a couple of colours in each, and then the black to do the backing. So can you see how each of these is making like a little bullseye effect? That's what we're looking for, and the more perfect the better. So obviously these aren't going to be perfect, but I don't think they need to be 100% perfect. Might as well do the one at the end here as well. So, oh, don't forget your little one. There. So that's that one. Why do you always get an itchy nose when you've got gloves on? I'm sure this is how I ended up with resin burns. Right. I've got my goggles and everything on, and it's just, yeah. So I'm going to do the same with the others, with the top row, and then we'll move on to something else for the others. So I'll fast forward you through this next bit. Okay folks, it's got noisier outside, so I hope you can hear me. I've put all the dots in these, so that seems to, and they seem to be doing what I think they should be doing. So we'll see. Next we're going to move on to do the feathered version. So basically we start with some black with this apparently, and we want slightly bigger dots. So yeah, apologies for the noise outside. Now the black is our background colour, so why it goes on first, mystery to me, but this is what I've seen done. And maybe because it doesn't sink as much, because it hasn't got the white in. Is that something to do with it? We know that white is heavier. So, there we go. So this is what we're trying. And I'm going to do some without the black as well, so we'll have a clear background on some of them, which we can maybe paint in black after. Oops. So yeah, apparently this is going to be our background colour. On that basis I'm putting it kind of out towards the edges mostly. Right, I'm going to leave that last one to stay clear. I don't know, I mean I've seen this work beautifully, but this to me looks like it could end up a muddy mess. Oh well, I have got that epic fails folder ready just in case I need it in my YouTube. So, yeah, one way or another this will come in useful. Right, now I wanted to do one of them at least in these beautiful blue colours, and I haven't got much of this deeper blue left. So yeah, I'm going to see what I've got left in my pot and see if I've got enough to mix up. Yeah, I have. A bit more of that beautiful deep blue. The other colours I should be alright. So probably just off screen for you guys, but I am just mixing up a bit more of the blue, which was, where's it gone? This is my superpower, you know, losing things without moving. Ah, there it is. Is that it? Dark indigo. Was that it? Yeah, it was. Looks purple on the front of the bottle, but clearly it is not. And then we had, what did we have? We had a drop of white. And we had a bit of sea deeper. Just got to give these a bit of a shake first. And then we had a little dot of the pure alcohol. Okay. How does that look? Yeah, that's about it, isn't it? Just put another dot of the sea deeper in, just to make sure. Okay, so yeah, I want to do a blues and turquoises one. Now these we won't be needing any white. Because we don't need the sink effect, and we don't need the, well we do, but it's mixed in with the colours, and we don't need the sort of highlight effect that we're going to get around those marshmallows. Now I've got plenty of this mixed up. Let's do them. Oh, sorry about the noise. This footpath better be good when they're finished. Ah, I can already see that the blue is sinking quicker than the black. Interesting. Right, let's do one of these little fat ones too. These little puffier ones over here, they're thicker, deeper. That's the word I'm looking for. They're deeper. So there should be more room for the effects to sink. We'll see. Oh my goodness, they couldn't have got any noisier than if they tried out there, could they? I hope they're doing a good job, that's all I can say. And what was I going to do with that clear one? Oh yes, that was it. I was going to do the colours, but without the black. I think I'm going to put the colour spots in threes, like that. Because I'm hoping for a slightly bolder effect. I don't know. Yeah, the colour transitions, I mean. Right, now if you can hear me over the workman, here comes the turquoise. Turquoise, is that what you call it? I suppose so. Right, here we go then, we're coming in for the swirl. Sorry if this is a little bit wobbly. Battery on my phone's gone flat, so I'm using my iPad. But basically all we're going to do is this. And I think I've got that at the right level of thickness because it's kind of dragged. I am going to try and pull it out a little bit though. There we go. Just smoothing the edges. Now, do this one. Okay, this probably could have done with doing half an hour earlier. We'll see. Yeah, I think I left it too long. Oh, be interesting to see what it does. Keep changing cocktail sticks here because obviously my hands are occupied holding my iPad up. Now I can't see that this black is going to provide a background colour, but we'll see. And these two little guys here. I'm going to pull that down to there. Could have filled these up a little bit more. And these haven't gone quite so thick because obviously it's deeper. Okay, and the others, let's see how they're doing. They look as if they're doing what they're supposed to do actually. It's coming close up on that one too. Yeah. Right, well let's see what happens then. Back for the demould in a bit. And it's demould time, and as you can see I've made a start. A little bit disappointed in a way. They haven't really feathered, but they've made some very pretty swirls anyway, so yeah, you know. And these haven't really done that marshmallow effect I was after. It just hasn't done the 3D thing. It could be the mould are a bit too shallow, I don't know. Let's try these, they're a bit deeper. Sort of. There's something to do, something around the depth of these. Definitely need to do them deeper. That's a good start. So yeah, wasn't quite the marshmallow effect I was looking for so far. Blimey, this one's still very soft. Oh, don't know what happened with that one. I think it's the alcohol ink. Yeah, again, no feathering, but pretty all the same. The swirls have come out nice, and the colours have been nice and rich too. I think I could have perhaps put a lot more white in the colours. I don't know. So yeah, they haven't quite done what I wanted, but they're very pretty all the same. And these I just used up some bits of resin that were left at the end. Yeah, they're cute. I'll just trim that off. Well then, wasn't quite the effect I was looking for, but pretty all the same. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Just hit the little subscribe button below the your screen there, and then you'll hear when I'm releasing any more videos. It'll let you know if you hit that little bell button as well. So if you want to do that, and I'll see you for the next video. We'll do another go at doing some cute little resin hearts, and then we'll make a video on what to do with them. But I think the next batch will be you know what, I rather like them anyway. Next batch of hearts will be let me think what should we do next. I think we're going to be putting other things in them. Don't know what yet, but we'll come up with something. Yeah, I think all that's missing here is the depth. These are too shallow probably for this to work, but there we are. They're a nice texture all the same. So yeah, watch this space then. We'll be doing another hearts video, and then we will be on to what to do with them, making them into key rings, making them into pocket hooks, making them into picture frames as well. So there we go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.